Good morning, all. This is Jack from Chartered Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Tuesday, the 31st of March. My disclaimer: I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to shoot trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartedmarkets.substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, I'm usually hey Doug. We've actually had some good news overnight. I'm saying in a post I'm writing and will be out in a couple of hours that the best thing the US could possibly do at this stage is actually just declare victory and leave. Obviously, it wouldn't be much of a victory. It'll leave the Middle East in a mess. It would leave Strait of Hormuz. It would appear that Iran's now going to be charging everyone going through it, and basically will be controlling the Strait of Hormuz from now on. And it's going to seriously anger all of the US allies in the Middle East. But nonetheless, in terms of de-escalation, this is the way to go. And in the event that the US puts ground troops on, I think this could get really ugly. Make much of the Middle East uninhabitable, which you could do just by knocking out a few desalination plants, and shut down an awful lot while they were doing that of oil production, send oil prices over $200 a barrel. This could go really badly. So that's actually it's not great news for the US reputation, but I mean the damage there is already done, I think. But I mean it's good news for the economy. So that looks as though it may well be happening. I was noting in my notes last night that we've got possible little double bottoms on some of these. We've got one on ES, which hasn't broken up yet, but I think it may well break up today. I've got another one on NQ. I've got another one on RTY. Didn't quite get one on YM, but we've got a larger double bottom here, which has got potential. DAX and the STX are getting pretty close to their declining resistance trend lines. ESTX has actually already slightly broken over it. And Nikkei, again, I'm probably going to be redrawing this with a declining resistance trend line and looking for a pattern. I don't think we've got a support trend line here, really, but this would be a great time for a rally because this is a holiday week. The stats are pretty strong. It's a holiday on Friday. We've got bullish leaning days tomorrow and Thursday. I've been talking about really wanting a rally till after Easter. I think we might actually get one. So really, I think it's pretty good news, or at least under the circumstances, is about as good news as we could possibly expect. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. And if we do see a decent rally here, what I'd be looking for is a test of the daily middle bands, ideally. I've got that at 66.49, which gives us a lot of space to rally potentially. And that is now crossing the 200 DMA, which was on the rally we saw last week, was tested, and I'd be thinking that would likely hold, but we could potentially rally up to it and the daily middle band. In terms of Dia, we lost the divergence, so we don't have a possible RSI 5 buy signal brewing there anymore. In terms of the hourly chart, I've got hourly RSI 14 and RSI 5 buy signals brewing. This is looking promising. I think we might see a decent rally here, and actually, I am rarely complimentary about anything that Trump does, but this actually would be the intelligent move to do in these circumstances. So I would applaud. All right. In terms of Qs, we've obviously got this double top that's already broken down with a target, the 523.28 to 523.69 range, and we've also got an asymmetric double top which is broken down on SPX. Although we could form an alternate IHS if we see a decent enough rally here. And we are at one of the three possible head and shoulder necklines that I had drawn in. We could also potentially be doing that on the Qs. So I'll be watching this with interest. Again, the 200 DMA and the daily middle band are crossing, and I'd be looking for. It doesn't necessarily need to reach either of those, but I'd be looking as that as the space for the rally. And we're currently in about got down to about the 555 area, and I've got the daily middle band currently at about 592. Obviously, that's declining pretty quickly at this stage, so I'd be looking ideally for a rally up to maybe 580. Okay, looking at the hourly chart there. We've got a full size RSI 5 buy signal brewing now. Nothing on the RSI 14 on the hourly. In terms of Dia, Dire, we've actually reached the second of the possible head and shoulder necklines that I was looking at. Now we've got it's closer to get to we've got, this is the double bottom that we're seeing here. I'm thinking we're actually closer to the daily middle band here. If we see any serious attempt to get there on Qs or SPX, then we could see a break over the daily middle band. We will see how that goes. We've got the 200 DMA here. That hasn't been established as resistance yet. Could fail there, but what I'd be looking for ideally is for a right shoulder to form. Because I'm still thinking that we move on to the next phase of the Iran thing, which maybe involve it basically pressuring all the other Middle Eastern countries, all America's allies in the region, to remove their bases, which I think they might actually be successful in doing, because I think the US has lost a lot of face with this, and it's been pretty obvious that the US cannot protect them. So they may make separate pieces with Iran, but I'm thinking there will likely be some more trouble and blowback. But we will see if we see a head and shoulder forming here. In terms of the hourly chart, no divergence here really, apart from the weak RSI 5 buy signal, which is actually fixed. We already had an RSI 14 buy signal, of course, on here, so we didn't really need one. And we've also got, I would note, an RSI 5 buy signal fix on the daily chart. We could get a decent rally here, and I'm thinking that's what I would really like to see. In terms of IWM, we've also got a daily RSI 5 buy signal fixed. We've got a head and shoulders, which is broken down here, and I'm not really looking for any alternative pattern to form, which means that I would like it very much not to go over 253.07, but that's well over the daily middle band, which really I'd probably like to hold. On the hourly chart, no current divergence. We've got some 15-minute divergence, of course. Looking at DAX, we had a buy signal, but we lost it. But I am thinking we could see a decent rally here, wondering about resistance here, but I'm thinking this could potentially be a stronger rally than that going into the weekend. Nikkei, we do have an RSI 5 buy signal fixed, and we've got a very nice looking potential double bottom. This can actually see a very good rally. We shall see. Yeah, it's looking promising. I'm liking the look of this rally so far, and if the Trump administration can possibly avoid doing anything insane for the next few days, I think this is a rally which could have a few days to go. All right, let's have a look at DX. DX, the flag broke up, we retested the high, we've got a potential double top, and we could see a larger retracement here. Keeping an open mind about whether this will go up further after this, but I think oil price is going to be elevated for a while. And last time, the uptrend that lasted longest after the Ukraine war scare and supply shortages died down, the one that lasted the longest and went the highest was actually DX. Looking at ZB, we got a potential double bottom which is trying to break up. We've got a 60-minute sell signal fix on ZN. We've still got a buy signal, but it's reached the possible near miss target, and we've got a potential double bottom here too, or possible inverted head and shoulders forming. Looking at CL, 60-minute sell signal fixed, wondering about a retrace. HO, 60-minute sell signal fixed, just about reached the possible near miss target actually. RBOB, we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed, wondering about a retracement here too. NG, we're actually seeing a bit of action to the upside here. No idea what that's happening for, but I don't think it's anything really to do with the war in Iran. Looking at GC, I am wondering about this going higher. We do have a possible IHS here. It's not awesome quality, but it's decent. I'm wondering about, I haven't marked this in yet, but this would have a target in about the 5,000 area. Looking at SI, we've got a tiny bit of negative divergence, or at least we will do when this high gets retested. But I'm mainly looking at the potential inverted head and shoulders here, although really it would need to break up very soon. The right shoulder is looking out of balance here. On PA, I think we've already lost this inverted head and shoulders actually. On platinum, possibly, maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised to see another pattern form. HG could be an IHS forming, but again, it's looking too long. It's looking too long in the right shoulder. So really, I'm not sure these are inverted head and shoulder patterns at all, or at least they're not anymore. In terms of USD, we've got a flag which has broken down with a retest of the low. Hasn't made that, although GBP did make that. Weak 60-minute buy signal fixed. USD JPY. possible topping action, but nothing particularly clear in terms of a pattern. USD CAD, this has been on a big spike higher. And we've got the 60-minute sell signal fixed. If we didn't already have one, we'd have another one brewing, leaning towards seeing some retracement. Australian dollar is rallying a bit. Obviously, we broke down from the head and shoulders here with a target in the 0.663 area. NZ, not really seeing a lot apart from the weak 60-minute buy signal, which is fixed. KC, I am wondering if this is a larger bear flag forming. Whether we might need another leg up and whether we might be starting that now. Sugar, is this a is this a double top? Well, it was a double top, but then we went higher, so maybe. Yeah, I haven't. I'm still thinking about that one. CC, but I could read that as an asymmetric double top. Let's see if it's got any further to go because the initial sell signal has already made target. CC, I'm leaning towards this being an ABC flag. So heading up, retesting its high, going a bit higher, and then we would see. CT is continuing higher at the moment. 60-minute sell signal fix. Lumber, we've got what looks like a bear flag forming, although we're getting close to a high retest here, and we might see that. On ZW, ZW, this looks like a bullish consolidation. Corn looks like bullish consolidation. Soy, this looks like a short-term bear flag setting up a retest this low. On the bigger picture, I think an inverted head and shoulder, right shoulder may be forming. On ZL, I am leaning towards seeing a retest of the high next because we are so close to it. On live cattle, we've already seen the high retest, and we've got a potential level top set up here, which I'm watching. And lean hogs, I think we're forming an ABC flag here, and the next obvious move would be to go up and retest the high in the 112 area. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions, of which we have none. My pleasure as always, mate. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Cheers.